Okay, today I am here at a place called Mariposa State Forest. It's not very well known, but it's one of my favorite places. I come here again and again, usually a few times a year. Um, as you can tell, it's definitely a gloomy day today. It's cloudy, foggy, but it's not raining. And the temperature's not too bad, so I figured I would get out here. All right, so we'll check this out. So this place is located in DeRidder, New York, just outside the tiny hamlet of DeRidder in Madison County, New York. And we're going to be on a segment of the Finger Lakes Trail, which this is. The first part of this actually starts right by some pastures, and we're going to be going uphill right here. And you can see pretty far. All right. Definitely kind of muddy. There's some streams back here. I'm hoping to see some good running water, maybe some waterfalls. Okay, so I've spotted the first waterfall here on the other side of that gully, and I'm following the trail uphill here. Beautiful in here right now. That's a black cherry, you can tell by the bark. And oh wow, I think there's another one right here. Let's see. Yeah. So I've entered this gorgeous section here of a mature forest, and there's that same stream there. I believe this section was rerouted because the last time I came here, it didn't go this way in here. I want to say the last time I was here was last spring. So I like what I see so far. So that's where I came from, and the trail is following this. And look at this up ahead. Nice. Okay, at this point there's an intersection here. You want to bear to the left, going that way, following the white blazes. I found this on the tree. All right, let's go this way. This will eventually take us to what's called the Paradise Lean-To, in probably under a mile. A little more snow, a little more fog, not much though. We're almost at the lean-to area. And this is what's called a seasonal stream. In dry weather, there won't be any water here. But since we've had warm temperatures, there's been a lot of melting. All right, well, the White Place Finger Lakes Trail continues that way, which is eastward. We're first going to take this orange trail down that way. We're going to be returning this loop on that on the white trail. All right. All right, we made it to the Paradise Lean-To. It was built in 2008. It's a nice one. It's got a little, I guess, a little camping area here. You can make a fire pit. It's underneath a very tall, healthy, mature forest, and there's a source of water down there, which we're going to check out in a moment. And I've never actually camped here before, but it looks enticing. Maybe in the summer. So I'm going to take a little break here, mainly to get some water, and then we'll continue on the Orange Trail. So this section of Finger Lakes Trail is actually maintained by the Onondaga chapter of the Adirondack Mountain Club, just an FYI, and I think they do terrific work. Wow, look at that. Hopefully you can see why this is a place I like to come to. There's just a lot to see here. That's the hill we got to go up later. Okay, I'm going up the hill. And I do have to be careful because there is some ice on the trail. So this is a seasonal waterfall, so I don't believe it actually has a name. But I like how it's little miniature cascades and the trail's heading up there. All right, I just finished the Orange Trail, and we're gonna head up that way, the Finger Lakes Trail, just a little further, maybe a mile or two further. Maybe, just maybe, we might get a view, this great view over a field, but with the fog, might not happen. But I do have some old footage and pictures from the summer of that field that I might put into the video if that's the case. So yeah, the rest, the next segment of this is fairly flat compared to what I just came through. All right, so let's see what it looks like. So we're going into a forest of some red pines, which are these right here. These were planted decades ago, many decades ago, because at one time all this land was actually farmed. So these are some of these forest stands like this one are old pine plantations that were done to reforest the area in the middle of the 20th century. So I like this segment right here. We have a open field on this side, that's private land. And then on this side, a nice forest of white pine. So now I'm in a section that was once logged, but it still has many white pines. And I'm so glad to be hearing birds in the middle of January. So this goes slightly uphill, this part of the trail. And in the summer, it's really, it's a nice spot because it's more uniform white pine. And it just, can't really explain it. It's just a section I really enjoy. This is a peaceful section. Coming down the other side of this hill, and it got foggier. Could be the elevation too. So if you look carefully, this might be an old foundation of an old house. The stones here. This section's always muddy, no matter what time of year. But I do appreciate that you start getting more evergreens in here mixing with the deciduous when you get this far in. All right, backtracking now. I've been in here about 3 hours. The mileage meter on my phone hasn't been working, unfortunately, the last couple of weeks. So I'm unable to check my mileage. But I am gonna guess, I want to say this hike is about doing the loop and then adding that little piece earlier is somewhere around 6 miles in that area. So, I'm feeling a little sluggish all of a sudden. That last hill with the snow was a bear. So, yeah, this has been fun. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to get out today, but and the weather was looking kind of iffy. But you know, it's for January. It's been a relatively mild January by New York State standards, at least this part of the state. So I am hoping to take the other part of the Finger Lakes Trail from where I turned, where the Orange Trail ended, and we'll come back that way back along the ridge above the lean-to. We're not going to pass by the lean-to again, but we will backtrack through the first part of the hike, and that we'll call it a day. All right. I believe the red pine gets its name from the reddish hue the bark has, and you can really see it when it's wet. Okay, I just passed the Orange Trail, the one I first took, so we're completing the original loop, still heading west on the Finger Lakes Trail through these lovely hemlocks and lovely mud. Some more red pines over there up the hill. This section has a lot of logs, fallen logs for some reason. It looks like they may have been cut too to clear the trail. Some of these trees still have leaves clinging to them. This marks the end of the loop, right about here. The orange trail is up a little bit, and if you take that, that goes to the lean-to. A little hard to make out, but if you look ahead, you can see some of the distant hills, some views of them. Fog is lifted for the most part. All right, well, that's the Paradise Garden Loop. On some sites, it's called the Paradise Garden Lean-To Loop. For some reason, this hike isn't in any hiking guidebooks. It's not very well known at all. I like it. I think that you could just do the loop, and it would be much shorter, of course. I added that section to see some different forest types in the field view, but it's a favorite of mine. Relatively low key. And it's about under an hour from where I live. So if you liked what you saw, please subscribe, CNY Trail Tales, and Mariposa State Forest, DeRidder, New York. All right, take care.